Good morning and happy New Year's Eve. So exciting. We have made it. Does it feel like that to you? We've made it through 2025. We're here floating down into the finish line. I know I am excited about it. I hope that you are as excited as I am. And in this session, we're going to do some definite reflecting, very intentionally thinking about bringing 2025 to a close with gratitude for everything that happened as much as possible. Gratitude especially for the highlights, the lessons learned, and to the extent that we can, at least for the difficult parts as well, how we try to come to peace with things like that. And then intentionally moving forward from who we were in the past to who we are intentionally becoming in 2026. That's building the excitement. I know I am very excited. We are on a journey. We are moving forward. We are pressing on toward better health and wellness. And that is a beautiful road to be on. That is the type of thing where it's not like we're going to be happy when we get just to that spot. We're finding joy on the journey right now, grounding ourselves in the present moment. And this type of process, this type of mindset, that's what we're really dialing in today. The mindset of wellness is a way of being. And we're going to practice that today, being well in the present moment. That's what flows out through the body and the mind as health and wholeness. So, an early toast to health and the journey that we're on. Say hi in the chat, give a hello, let me know how you are doing. Do you have some New Year's plans? What is that going to look like? I'd be curious to know, because we're going to do a little planning just in this day, as we have done in other days. Flowing through a holiday, how do we do it in the very best way? Do you have any obstacles you are facing in this day? We can always troubleshoot it. So 2 intentions I'm going to try to focus us in on in this session. Our best intention for this day. Remember, we're not trying to win a whole year of 2026 before it's even started. We're just going to take care of this day. That is enough. But on a day like this, too, we want to open our mind to the possibility, set an intention for 2026. Something that we can move toward and grow into. And that is going to be a beautiful mindset as well. So, we are in day 3 of this mini 3-day little series. We're doing to close out the year. And so if you look at the topics that we have done, if you're just coming in now, okay, cram them all into one beautiful day is all good. It's kind of a construct anyway to talk about it. I've got 4 main practices that I talk about on this channel. Of course, a fasting space. It's like the lead practice. Such a powerful and overlooked practice in our society. Such a simple, elegant, powerful practice. I say the foundation of health in a modern world that is overloaded with consumption. Very difficult space to find a sustainable path in health and wellness. Fasting a practice that is just like setting the boundary. Think about, what is the old saying? Like, good fences make good neighbors. Like, right? So we got our relationship with food. Fasting like a good fence. It's just like showing, here's the line, so we can bring everything into balance. And then the other 3 practices are healthy movement practice. So essential for the body to be strong and resilient. Most people lead with that, especially coming into New Year's. Going to hit the gym, which I love. I'm a big exerciser, is very good. But when you lead with only with exercise, without any other wellness practice, that is a path that, just practically speaking, more often leads to burnout than to the results that people want. Not always. Bless everybody who follows any path that gets what they want. That's all I care about. But if we're playing the numbers, so better off start with the fasting, add in the exercise. Absolutely. Add in the healthy eating. And then add in the mindfulness. Pat is with us. Good morning. Where did I send my little chats? Oh, I see. Going forward, I can bring the chats in. Happy New Year. 3 goals for 26. Laugh every day. Love it. Add regular, sustainable exercise. A beautiful thing to do. Hit the weight loss goal. Smash it. Yes. Love it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm so excited for you. Absolutely. That's awesome. Using all the practices, like we're saying, set the table as the foundational layer of fasting. Add in the healthy movement on top of it. Add our beautiful health choices on top of it. Add on our beautiful mindset. So look what we did in the first day of our little challenge here. Our little 3-day end of the year challenge. We did the clean out, right? That's like the healthy eating part. Try to get the processed stuff out. And then we came in yesterday, a big reset, right? I said, lean into a little fasting space, right? So we're hitting the sections of all of these and with a little more focus. And then today, deep focus, intention. That's the mindset. Mindset may be even the most powerful of all. Well, I mean, it just is. It is. So, our little end of the year, we're missing our movement in the end of the year, but let's just make that tomorrow, okay? So we just hit our focus. Adding in the movement tomorrow is a great way to do it. All right, so dialing in for our purpose today on the mindset. We said 2 mindsets. Almost 2 by 2. We got the mindset for today, the mindset for 26, and then we're also going to then, looking forward, closing out 26. So think of the years, sometimes I do is like chapters in a book. We wrote a chapter in 2025, and it's like closing that chapter, closing the book on 2025, and then turning the page over to 2026. Super dialed in, super focused. When I was doing some writing, I was thinking almost like surgical focus. I was thinking that word because it's like cutting right to the heart of the matter, right? It's like we're trying to eliminate everything that is distracting us from our true purpose. Trying to just find really, truth. Like, what is the real truth in my life about what is the way of being that I have in 2026 that is in alignment with my values, my mission, my purpose, so that every step that I'm taking is taking me toward that goal. Maybe not in a straight line, we said, remember. It doesn't have to, perfection is not what we want, but that it's like a magnet. The goal is just is pulling us toward it. Cutting through, the distraction, the confusion of culture and everything that is happening so that we don't get pulled off course. Think of the analogies we built over the fall, the anchor in the waves. The rudder on the sailboat that helps us take the energy that's coming at us and head forward. I think my son was watching a video the other day where this guy was walking down a street and he was talking to people about sailboats and he was asking everybody, he's like, okay, if the wind is blowing this way, how can the sailboat go that way? Almost nobody can explain it. It's very funny. It's true, though, right? It's true. We could get into a whole physics of it. It's about creating balance. Balance in the boat. Balance out the forces. So that so many negatives cancel out. And the difference, however small, is moving the boat forward. This is what we want in our life. This is what we are building here. Practices that help us move forward no matter what our situation. So here's what I thought we would do. The closing out part of this is going to be the shorter part. But it's something that I felt like doing. If you got a paper around, harder to do just on a digital device. If you got a real paper around, this is going to help you out. Take a minute and think about 2025. And for a minute, we're just going to think about the difficult parts of it, specifically the barriers. What were the things, or the thing? Doesn't have to be one, could be more than one. You want to make a list, it's fine. But one will be satisfactory. What is the biggest barrier that kept you from moving forward in your health journey in 2025? Does something come to mind? Something that brought the most stress, that created the most resistance, that was like you were close to being able to do something that you knew was good, that was in alignment, but you didn't do it because of this thing. Is it an emotion? Is it a something? A habit, a practice? What was it? I want you to write it out. I'm going to write it out because it's clear to me big barrier that I faced. And you see where it's going, right? We're going to stop doing this. We are going to eliminate this barrier. The first step to eliminating a barrier, just being honest about it and recognizing it. My barrier, personally, to me, was in total denial about it. Did not even realize it really until the last couple weeks when I started reflecting on the last year. And if it's not coming to you right now, okay, maybe take a step in this day as you have some space to open up. Say, I'm just going to do some more thinking about this because this is big. We got the whole day here. This would be a big way to close out 2025. Get that out on paper because we don't want to bring it with us, right? We are crossing a finish line here in 2025 and we are turning a powerful page and we are moving in a new direction. And this big barrier that has been with us in 25 is not coming. It's not coming. That's what I say. You can just put this in your mind. If you don't got the paper, you're doing whatever, hey, just put it in your mind. Go through the mental exercise like we're doing of doing this. Okay, I got mine written out. Allowing work stress to derail my efforts in the middle of the week. Put that on the page. Here's what I'm doing with my beautiful book. This is like a journal book to me. Okay, I've got 2 years of notes and things in here, but I'm taking this guy. I'm just ripping this out. I got my trash, okay, right over here. Throw it away, okay? If I was out in the country and I was having a fire, I would throw that on the fire. If you're having a fire later, you want to save that, you're having a fire, throw it on the fire and burn it up. To me, that sometimes feels better. But you throw it in the trash, say this is symbolic, okay? I'm going to hit the button and it disappears. We throw it away and it's gone. This is just the mindset that we're creating. We're turning the page from stuff like that. I am resolving no to that. No limiting processes in 2026. Or at least we're making our best effort, you know. We are making our best effort, one obstacle at a time. Life has a way. You finish one obstacle, then the next one comes. Does it feel like that to you? Many times it seems to me like that's how things go. But this is also the process of how we learn and grow. And we are moving beyond an obstacle today from 2025. At least we're practicing it. This is the practice, right? Let go. Fasting showing us the big mirror for that. Fasting giving us an opportunity in one domain of our life with eating for one voluntary, open, positive period of time to let go of some eating for a little while. And it doesn't have to be any longer than we want, but we say, oh, that practice, letting go of this, something very important, right? Eating, very, very important, essential. But we can let go of something even essential for a little while, and then we see, oh, like, hey, some good things are happening there. It's showing us that is a pattern for many areas in our life, that actually even essential things, it's okay to have space. We don't have to be pushing 100% all the time on everything. This is what our culture says about dieting, right? Dieting has to be 100% intensity all the time. You're basically always doing it. You're creating this paradox where you're always cutting back, but you're always eating. It's like we're pushing on a string. Fasting showing us a different pattern, that actually nothing is okay, that rest, reset. We did yesterday, we were looking at the winter and just seeing the natural cycle of winter. Nature isn't stopping in winter, but it is resting, charging up for the progress of spring. Fasting, just like that in the body. A beautiful cycle in the body, mirroring the natural pattern. Okay, we're closing out 25. I hope you found that helpful. Closing it out with these 2 days, we cleaned out, we reset, and here we're diving in. Intentional. So I thought, let's start out with just some intentions for this day, and then we'll dive in a little more broadly, intentions for the year. So I filmed another little view. Let's flip over outside. Let's get out of, I'd say out of town, but here in Madison, this is at the Arboretum. Is actually amazingly kind of in the middle of town, is like surrounded by town. If you pull up a map of Madison, you see the lakes and the town, and then the big Arboretum with Lake Wingra in the middle. But we can pretend we're out of town. It looks like we're out of town. This tiny little space is be 7 degrees out, and this is open water. So I've really loved going to this space where we can reflect. You see the clouds floating by in the water, see the breeze floating by. Okay, so even say we can't be there right now, but just we can kind of go there in our mind in this sort of natural space, help us set our intentions for the day. So I was writing kind of centering phrases for the day. So here's this one: fast through the noise. I thought this was kind of a fun thought. Can be a lot of noise on New Year's. So as we are heading here, what is your New Year's like? Is it a party day? Is it just a calm day at home, and maybe it's not so noisy? Fasting through the noise, kind of a nice idea just in the world in general. A lot of noise in general. A lot of people angry and upset and confused and frustrated. Here is a centering thought for the day. Whatever your day looks like, whether it's a chill day at home or you're heading out in some sort of space, fasting through the noise, I think really a powerful centering phrase. This would be the type of phrase that would be like head straight through an experience and just smash through it. So it's a very powerful thought to me. Patterns of consumption happening. We don't have to participate in it. This kind of led me into this second phrase. Here it comes. Connection over consumption. These two really connected to me. We can fast through a space. Consumption, not what is important, right? In a holiday, we say, here's another holiday. New Year's Eve, it's a party. What is really important? Not consumption, connection. That would be the focus. If we're trying to fast through some noise, we're trying to float through a space, like balance a lot of things. Maybe we say, I made it through a holiday in December. Say we leaned a little more on just the using food as a connection. Maybe this is a holiday. This is like your path, no rules, right? But maybe this is a holiday where we can kind of lean into the other side. Say, can we just focus on the connection here without the consumption? These two phrases that might be really centering just for this day specifically. Focus on people. Focus on music, energy, okay? Not some sort of, appetizer that's heading around. This is not necessarily what is going to serve us, say especially late. Now, if that has meaning and value to you, like, whatever. We got powerful practices. We got an entire 2026. We have such a powerful path we're going to be walking in 2026. Remember, we don't bring any judgment or pressure on ourselves. You obliterate any appetizer you have on New Year's Eve. It just doesn't really make a huge difference in the long term. But in the long term, what matters is that, okay, are we centered? Are we walking our path? What is in alignment with this day for you? And if you are feeling charged up like I am and say, I'm going to really come into 26 with a full head of steam, like here would be a way to do it. Really power and lean into it. That's what's feeling good to me right now. Really build up some energy on the health path. Bring conscientious, intentional intensity to it. I've kind of flowed through a space with the last couple weeks of the year where I'm just like, really relax, really kick back, really just, take a breath. This is a very much a natural cycle. Do you feel that way? That it's like, we need seasons to things. This is what the winter shows us. We need periods of rest, but doesn't it charge you up? And then you hit it for a while, and then you say, like, oh, now it's okay to pull back. This is what I really like about a fasting process. What I think is a lot different about this simple fasting mindset compared to other perspectives is that I don't see fasting in any way as some sort of rigid dogmatic thing that has to be the same every day. A very flexible process that we can shape and mold with these energy flows, right? Sometimes I'm feeling like really leaning into it. We can do it. And then other times we can pull back. It's just, we shape it and fit it into our experience just in the ways it just makes everything better. Not in ways that we are having to work to just line up with some arbitrary rule that we created for ourselves. All right, next little centering phrase. a mini question for you. What is the first fuel of 26? There's something to think about today. What is going to be the first thing you're going to eat in 2026? Are you going to be staying up late? Or are you going to bed early is the first thing you're going to be eating in 2026, in the morning, okay? But think about it. There would be a place to really bring some intention. Like, it's going to be one of our next food decisions. And maybe we got lunch, dinner planned today. Maybe you're going to be at a party. You're going to be closing out 25, okay? Have whatever, okay? But what is the first fuel of 26? We want to really dial in on 26. We're kind of bridging the gap between today and our intention and the rest of the year. I say let's make that first step like the best step. We want everything in balance. We want a fasting space to the extent that it serves us. We want healthy eating to the extent that it serves us. Remember the session we did? Everything matters. Everything matters. And so, like, what we eat matters. And when we eat matters. And so if we're going to bring our most powerful intention into 2026, like, let's take the first step in the most positive direction. Get off to the best start possible. First fuel. I love that. Definitely some good things to think about. And let's see, where are we at? 1, 2, 3. Here's a good one. A hydration toast. Love this one. We did a toast with some coffee to start this out. It doesn't have to be champagne, right? It's like a lot of people drinking a lot of alcohol on New Year's. If that's your thing, if it's a special thing, it's totally fine. But here would be an alternative. Just take a champagne glass and put a sparkling water in. Nobody even has to know. I think for myself, say, entering the year hydrated, right? Hydration, that's such a huge part of health. Staying hydrated, what makes fasting easier. There's a very intentional practice. They say a sparkling water over an alcohol is a really healthy choice. Thinking about staying clear-headed, right? To keeping the mindset clear. I love that. Hydration toast. We do one right now with a coffee. To good health. All right, 2 more centering little phrases I wrote down. Kind of shifting in. So these ones, fasting through the noise, you could bring that anywhere. I guess a lot of this you can bring throughout the year. Connection over consumption. We'd probably just do a whole show on that. First fuel, hydration, toast. Those very focused on today. So here's 2 as we're thinking. Building in our intention for the year. Okay. We're taking this session and say we're launching forward into 26. Think identity over outcome. I really like this. The classic thought, I think, that people have, in my experience, they set a goal, which is totally fine, but is a very, very outcome specific. Like, I am going to lose 30 pounds by this date. Now, it's not bad and it's not wrong. Do it. It's fine. But the thing that I want you to think about that is bigger, what is the identity? I am a healthy person. And I am a healthy being. A being of health. This is the person as a process. Me as a process. You as a process. We are happening. We are being. We are progressing, learning, creating the way of being in the world. Right? That is such a deep process. The way of being healthy in an enjoyable, positive, sustainable process is the process that will result in the outcome that you want, right? But the outcome is in the distance, and then we can look at it. Maybe you need both things, Maybe we have the outcome we want, but then set it. That's the point on the horizon that we're walking toward. But the way we find joy on the journey, the experience is focusing on, who am I? Who is this? What are the values? What is the process? What does the day look like? It's like the step, every step. What is the gait? You're looking at someone walking this path. How do they walk? What does it look like? That's the way of being in the world. This is I think the big overriding thing that we're trying to do in a health path. Find a way of being in the world that is completely open to reality, not trying to hide from anything. Facing obstacles as they come, openly and honestly. Accepting that there is difficulty to things, that there can be things that are a struggle, but that we move through it. We approach it with kindness and grace so that we minimize the struggle. We maximize the progress. We learn, grow, and overcome and move forward. That is an unstoppable mindset. That is the mindset of the true human spirit, as far as I can see. That's what we want to harness in 2026. The power, the unstoppable human spirit, gonna conquer every weight loss obstacle that we have, right? So that we can move forward in health, experiencing the greatest amount of health that we can experience. That's the biggest, most beautiful vision that I can come up with. You try to make it bigger and share it. Make it better. We just grow the process together. Okay, and one more centering little word here, which is maybe even my favorite of the list. Everything on purpose. See, everything on purpose, that's intention. That's deep intention. This is something that I really want to move forward in personally for 2026. Everything on purpose. Everything driven and moving beautifully in this direction of health to the greatest extent that it can, to the extent that it brings joy and curiosity and positivity, not from any kind of mindset of I have to do something purposeful. Look at what we have done on the channel. There's a whole session yesterday on rest. Rest and reset. But purposefully, because it's the rest and the reset that gives us the energy and power to press on forward. So everything on purpose means everything in balance. Think of the perspectives that we've had of how taking the deep breath, right? Something so simple, helping us to let go. So 2 perspectives. We've got the whole year coming up. We're trying to psych ourselves up for it. Also, we've just got one day. So we're trying to move forward through one day. Here's a little list of things that can bring us forward through this day and power us on. I want to give you the opportunity here. Just like we started things out by writing out the one barrier, maybe on a new page. This is what we've been trying to do in this session. Turn a new page. look forward, 2026. I want you to think of one word. If possible, no rules, make it 2 or however many. But one word would be the thought that captures your intention for 2026. I won't even give you examples because I don't want to get in there. This is another sort of thing you could think about it over the day. If maybe take some time, put it into it. Can you have a centering word for 2026? Maybe make a list of potentials and then see which one pops, which one really is kind of centering. And the way I'm going to close this out, we did it a little bit yesterday. We did a little breathing practice at the end. Breathing so fundamental, so overlooked, just like fasting in our society, overlooked. We think, oh, who needs to just waste any time of taking a deep breath? I don't know. I don't know if people say that specifically, but it's like we don't even have the thought to do it because we're distracted. We're doing so many other things. We don't even, think, oh, should I take some time and just really do some thoughtful breathing here? I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. I start to think that more now because I talk about it. I do shows about it. See, this is helping me because then it's keeping these things top of mind. And so then I say, well, shouldn't I actually do it? Then I'm more likely to do it. And so here you're tuning in. Now we're doing the practices of making it more top of mind. We're taking a space of the day. We're at the beginning of the day, or if you're coming through on the replay, okay, we're wherever we are. Here's a little reminder. Oh, we can do a beautiful health practice right now. It doesn't cost any money. Doesn't take very much time. Do a little deep breathing is like stress burning. It's a stress releasing. It's getting that parasympathetic flow, which is the opposite of the fight or flight. The adrenaline system that is ramping everything up. That process, when it never gets turned off appropriately, is what leads to chronic stress and chronic inflammation. We may have many stressful things happening in our life, but effectively coping with it, breathing through it, and doing every other good health practice can help us mitigate the development of chronic inflammation, even in the face of great stress in our life. This is what we want, because it's not like we can just remove ourselves from society. It's like, oh, we never have to work or do anything, okay? We don't have to interact with people. No, we do. And so, but how do we build the practices that insulate our health from it and protect the valuable space of health? One of the very core practices is like a breathing practice, just like a very core practice, a fasting practice. The healthy eating and the movement. These are the 4 strands. We braid them all together into this powerful practice. So yesterday I had the quote, Henry David Thoreau, the most beautiful space in the day, the moment between the 2 deep breaths, right? And so that was a great space to sit in. I really enjoyed that. And I found as we went through the breathing practice, and then you appreciate, oh, you're bringing the tension in the system down, and you can expand that box breathing out like we did. That there really is a space. You kind of float through that space after the exhale, after kind of by round 10. Man, we're floating out there in that space. Very calm, centered space. And so I want to try, if you're open to it, go through this little exercise with us. As I was thinking about it, we say, okay, we can say an intention. We have our intention for 26. If we have our word, that's what I would especially say. And if you don't have the word right now, you can, the video is on the channel. You can always come back into this space And when we do this practice, I want you to use the breathing to really internalize this intention, really get it into the mind and into the body. And it's especially going to be in that space. We breathe out and then we're floating in that space. I want you to see it in the mind. That's where the intention is. And we're sitting in that space. See that intention, whatever that word is, that's going to center the process through 2026. Let it soak in that space. I think that's where we can really kind of get through a lot of barriers in that sort of space. So I'm going to do what I didn't do yesterday. I'm going to give you a couple rounds of box breathing where I'm going to kind of talk you through it. Some folks yesterday saying, hey, help talk us through it so we can do it. So I'm going to talk through it on a 4 count for 3 rounds. So we kind of get in a zone with it. And then I'm going to open up some space where I'm just going to be doing it. I'll bring us over the full view. Then you can see me doing it. Then we'll do it without the talking so that you aren't locked into my space, because then you can open it up depending on wherever you're at with it. I started at a 4 count yesterday, and then by the end of 10 rounds, I was holding it like a 20 count. I was counting this big space, just feel very comfortable. That's not a type of breathing that we normally do. Normally, especially if we're stressed, we're like rapid breathing. And so to be in a space is kind of interesting. It feel kind of good where you're like, oh, like I breathed out. I'm feeling totally comfortable here. Like the Thoreau quote yesterday, it's like a beautiful space. And we're going to sit there with our intention just to close this out before we head our separate ways and head on for a New Year's Eve and heading into New Year's with hopefully the best intention that we can. So here's the practice. Breathing in on a 4 count, and you can do it either just a single breath or you can do a double breath if you're open for it. Single breath just like this, just breathing in straight for 4. All the way up. A double breath, like a big breath in where you can, and then top it off, kind of like this. Get that extra opening. And then we hold for 4, and then out for 4. And then holding out for a 4 count, especially at the beginning. You don't have to make it, don't feel bad. A lot of times if I am having a lot of stress, if I am anxious, if I'm in a difficult thing, I was explaining yesterday, we just do a check-in. I try to do a box breathing like that, can't do it. I breathe in for 4, and I got to breathe out and take another breath. That's how you know if the breathing is really shallow. Then you know you're kind of amped up. You're in that fight or flight mode, sympathetic system activated. That's the situation we're trying to get out of as much as possible. So I'm going to do 3 rounds. We're going to kind of start out with that. We'll do a little check-in, and then I'll give us some open space at our own discretion to see, over the course of just a minute or two, how much can we expand that just within a couple minutes, and then bring that intention that we have been working on into that open space and just bring some appreciation to it. Let it sink into the body. This is how we're going to really power up for our health process in 2026. Okay, here we go. In for 4, breathing in. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Oh, I say 4, and then out. 2, 3, 4, and now holding if you can. 2, 3, 4. Saying it in the mind can help. In for 1, 2, 3, 4, and holding. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, and then holding in that space. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the pattern. Saying it in the mind can help to clear out, if there's racing thoughts, everything in the list, we're trying to block all that out. Hard to do because when we think about something, say don't think about it, then we think about it. So just focusing on the numbers help us dial in on this process. So now I'm gonna do it. I'll keep going if you can watch the process, but you can do it at your own discretion. We can get out of sync. You can extend that longer, however it feels good. Put your intention after you exhale. All right, here we go. Let's try to do a few rounds of this together. So if I was going through that in a longer fashion than I start doing it there, I would close my eyes. It's a great way to start into a meditation space. You can float through a nice space like that. There was like another 8 breaths. I was just starting to get into it. Did you kind of see it where it's like, okay, we're really starting to spread these spaces out. We started out 4 felt about right for me at that space. And then I was counting it out toward like 12, 13 on some of these holds. And you can expand that. Yesterday we were heading out toward, 20 or so. And then in that space, especially, I'm looking at the screen, trying to see what all this looks like. Okay, if you're doing this by yourself, close your eyes. Easier to kind of drift in that space. Focus on that intention. I would say write that word down. Think about it more. I say make it a big deal. Make it a big deal to have an intention written out for 2026. And then have a great day. Have a great holiday. Enjoy a celebration, New Year's party. Looking forward. I'll be with you tomorrow morning. And we will do some celebrating of starting a new year of health. And wish you the very best. Thanks for sharing this space with me today. I will look forward to seeing you back here soon. Have a great day, everybody.